Dealing with a bad boss can be a challenging situation for any leader. However, it's important to approach the situation with professionalism, tact, and a focus on finding a resolution. So here are some strategies that I've used that may help you navigate that situation effectively. First and foremost, I had to ask myself, is this a personality problem? Consider the fact that, well, if the decisions, approaches, goals, and values of the bad boss aligns with the organization, you and the team, then it may be a personality conflict. Now, I'm not saying you have to like every boss or person you deal with. Not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I needed to evaluate the root cause and why I considered this person a bad boss. So I learned really quick by merely saying my boss is an a-hole is not how a leader should approach this. Again, we're on the pathway to leadership, right? So I started to assess the situation, reflect on the reasons why I considered my boss to be, well, bad. I had to ask, is it a communication issue, a difference in work styles, or something more serious like, is it unethical behavior? Understanding the root causes helped me determine the best course of action. So there are several books about this subject, and I read several of them myself, and I came to the conclusion that I needed to maintain professionalism. They all say that. Despite my grievances, it was critical for me to keep an interaction with my boss professional. I avoided engaging in gossip, spreading negativity within the organization, because I knew that was going to harm my reputation. I then worked on understanding their perspective. Yeah, how are they looking at things? I try to understand my boss's point of view and the challenges that, well, they might be facing. This sometimes helped me empathize with their situation, and maybe I could find some common ground to resolve our conflicts. But most important was mutual respect. You see, in the military, we were taught that we must respect the uniform and the rank of the other military member, but I was not taught that I had to respect the person wearing the said uniform. It's a hard thing to say, but it's even harder to hear. And finally, I learned how to communicate openly. You see, I initiated a respectful and honest conversation with my bad boss and addressed my concerns. I set an appropriate time and place to discuss the issues and provided specific examples of problematic behavior that was pretty much affecting my attitude and my work. I thought the best case scenario would be, well, my boss didn't know what they were doing and how it affected me. Because maybe no one told them and they thought, well, how they're operating is okay. Nevertheless, a healthy dialogue may shed some light on the situation. And as you've heard so many times on Pathway to Leadership, maybe it's me that needs to self-evaluate and reflect. I needed to approach the bad boss situation thinking that I might be part of the problem. That's a hard pill to swallow. I had to make sure I wasn't part of the pain that I was experiencing and my boss was experiencing. So let's move forward. Some additional tips you might want to consider. Express your desire for a constructive and positive working relationship. That's really important. Seek support from colleagues and mentors. Now, share your concern with trusted colleagues and mentors who can provide guidance and support. I'm not talking about coworkers that will not be constructive. You don't want to succumb to the gossip round, or people who are not interested in resolution but actually thrive on complaining. Stay away from those people. Just be careful and choose the right people to confide in. They might offer advice based on their own experiences or provide insights into how to approach the situation effectively. Focus on your own growth. Use the situation as an opportunity for personal and professional development. Identify areas where you can enhance your skills or knowledge to mitigate the impact of difficult bosses. And take ownership of your own career progression and seek out opportunities to expand your responsibilities. Document incidences. I can't tell you. Write it down. If the situation persists or escalates, keep a record of specific incidences, including dates, times, and details on each occurrence. Include your efforts and results on how you attempted to resolve the conflict or to make the situation better. This documentation can be very helpful if you need to escalate it to, like higher management or HR. If you are going to continue pursuing and escalate it, remember, if all attempts to improve the work relationship fall and the behavior of the boss continues, well, then you may need to escalate the issue to your boss's superiors or human resource department. Provide your written evidence and request HR's assistance in finding a resolution. Remember, each situation is unique, and it's important to adapt these strategies to fit your specific circumstances. Ultimately, by maintaining professionalism, clear communication, and focusing on my own growth, it helped me navigate how to deal with a bad boss. The final outcome was a discovery that I was actually part of the situation. And I thought, well, who was a bad boss? Well, in the end, they became a better boss, and our relationship grew thereafter. So I hope some of the strategies I used to deal with my bad boss helps you on your pathway to leadership. And now, here's a video that YouTube thinks you might find useful. So check it out. I'm John, and I'll see you next time on Pathway to Leadership.